Hello students, today I am here to give a tutorial video for class 12 science. The chapter chosen from physical chemistry, chapter 2, that is solution. So students, as all of we know little bit about solution, that means when solute mixes with the solvent, it makes solution. Today I will discuss about the concentration of the solution. What is concentration? The amount of the solute present in the solvent is called its concentration. Now there are various ways to express the concentration. There are so many terms to express the concentration. Now we can see the first one is mass by mass. That is, you can see I have written over here 5% W by W copper sulfate solution. That means 5 divided by 5 plus 95 into 100, 5% W by W. It means that we have taken 5 gram of copper sulfate and mixes with 95 gram of water to produce total 100 gram of the solution. So we can say that 5% W by W means 5 gram of copper sulfate present in 95 gram of water. Second one is volume by volume. Volume by volume, I have written over here 5% V by V alcohol solution. That means here I have taken 5 ml of the alcohol and I mix it with 95 ml of water to make total 100 ml. That makes 5% V by V alcohol. The third one is ppm. The full form of ppm is parts per million. That means parts per million, the amount or the part of the solute present per 10 to the power 6, that is million parts of the solvent. Here we can express it mass of the component divided by total mass of the solution into 10 to the power 6. Next one is normal solution. What is a normal solution? A normal solution of a substance is that solution which contains 1 gram equivalent weight of it per liter of the solution. We will express like normality. What is normality? Normality is weight of the solute divided by equivalent weight of the solute into 1000 divided by volume of the solvent. Now we know about the molecular weight. Molecular weight is the summation of all atomic weights. Now what about equivalent weight? Equivalent weight equals to molecular weight divided number of charge divided by number of charge. Suppose if I have taken H2SO4, it will dissociate as 2H plus SO4 2 minus, and this SO4 2 minus is the charge of sulfate is 2 and charge of hydrogen is 1. So we will divide it by 2. Molecular weight will be divided by 2. Here you can see, suppose it is said that 2 gram of NaOH solution dissolved in 500 ml of water. Here normality is equals to 2 by 40. 40 is the molecular weight of NaOH. Where NaOH dissociates as Na plus and OH minus, we will get 1 cation, 1 anion. So its molecular weight will be equal to its equivalent weight, that we can write 2 by 40 into 1000 by 500. Whereas in case of H2SO4, as we can see, we are getting, after dissociation, we are getting 2 hydrogen plus. So that total 98 molecular weight will be divided by 2 and we will get 49. So we will divide this 2 gram with 49 into 1000 by 500. This is the actual difference between molecular weight and equivalent weight. Next one is molarity. Molarity is a weight of the solute divided by molecular weight of the solute into 1000 divided by volume of the solvent. The difference of molarity with the normality is, in case of molarity we will take the direct molecular weight, but in case of normality we will take the equivalent weight of the solute. Next one is molarity. Same we will take as a weight of the solute divided by molecular weight of the solute into 1000, but in case of the weight of volume of the solvent, we will take weight of the solvent. The main difference between molarity and molality, here we will take as weight of the solvent molality and volume of the solvent will be molarity. Next one is mole fraction, another type of the expression of the concentration. Here, as we know that mole equals to weight taken divided by its molecular weight. Suppose we are taking two substances A and B. A's number of mole is N1 and B's number of mole is N2. And so mole fraction x1, it is abbreviated as x1, small x1. So x1, that is a mole fraction of substance A, will be N1 divided by N1 plus N2. And x2, the abbreviation of the mole fraction of B, will be N2 divided by N1 plus N2. Now we will discuss about the properties of the solution. There are two properties, intensive properties and extensive properties. Intensive properties means the properties which are dependent on the nature of the solute, not the amount of the solute. Examples are like, we can say, temperature, pressure, viscosity, density, etc. And the properties which are independent of the nature of the solute but strongly dependent on the amount of the solutes are called extensive properties. Examples are mass, volume, internal energy, Gibbs free energy, etc. And one more property is there, that is colligative properties, and there are 4 colligative properties in our syllabus. That is, lowering of vapor pressure is one, second one is elevation of boiling point, third one is depression of freezing point, and fourth one is osmotic pressure. Let us discuss about the vapor pressure of the solute. What is vapor pressure? The pressure exerted by the vapor which is in equilibrium with the liquid is called its vapor pressure. Now, what are the factors affecting the vapor pressure? First one is nature of the liquid. Nature of the liquid says here that if the liquid is more volatile, we will get higher vapor pressure. Suppose we are taking water and acetone. As we know, acetone is more volatile than water. So what we will get? The vapor pressure of acetone will be higher than the vapor pressure of water. Next case, the temperature. The factor, that is the temperature, at high temperature, if we raise the temperature, the vapor pressure will be high. So we can say vapor pressure is directly proportional to the temperature. And the temperature, when the vapor pressure is equal to the atmospheric pressure, that particular temperature is called its boiling point. Now it's Raoult's law. What is Raoult's law? The statement of Raoult's law is the partial pressure of the component is equal to the product of the vapor pressure of that component in its pure state multiplied by its mole fraction. You can see I have chosen over here two components, that is A and B. Here PA is the partial pressure of component A, which is equal to the multiplication of its vapor pressure in pure state multiplied by its mole fraction. And PB, which is the partial pressure of component B, is equals to the multiplication of the mole fraction of component B with the vapor pressure of the component B in its pure state. So we can write total pressure P will be PA plus PB. In place of PA, we are writing P0A XA, and in place of PB, we are writing P0B XB. As we know that total mole fraction always be 1. So we can write XA plus XB equals to 1. So in place of XA, we can write 1 minus XB. Now we will substitute this value of XA here. So we can get P0, in case of XA, we will write 1 minus XB plus P0 XB, and finally we will get the term P0A plus XB common, P0B minus P0A. Again, according to Raoult's law, we can classify solution as ideal solution and non-ideal solution. Now, what is ideal solution? Ideal solution which will obey Raoult's law. Simply, here we are taking two substances A and B. We know before the mixing individually, all the A molecules are having attraction among them and all the B molecules are having attraction among them. So whenever we will mix it, and we will see the attraction between AA molecule is equal to the attraction of BB molecule, also is equal to the attraction of AB molecule, that is ideal solution. And the characteristics of ideal solutions are delta H is equals to 0. What is delta H? In thermodynamics in class 11 I taught that what is delta H? Delta H is the heat of formation for the mixing, is equals to 0. Delta V, total volume or the volume difference should be 0, and obviously the solution which will obey Raoult's law are all ideal solutions. Examples we can take as the mixture of benzene and toluene, the mixture of nitrogen dioxide and methanol. The second one is non-ideal solution. In case of non-ideal solution, the attraction between AA molecules, attraction between BB molecules and attraction between AB molecules all are unequal. You can see I have written AA not equal to BB not equal to AB. Here the characteristic should be delta V not equals to 0, delta H not equals to 0, and which does not obey Raoult's law. The examples are the mixture of water and methanol and the mixture of chlorobenzene with carbon tetrachloride. Now let us discuss let us represent the vapor pressure in graphical way. Here I have plotted the graph. I have taken mole fraction as the x-axis and vapor pressure as the y-axis. Here you can see component A and it is component B. In case of component A, total mole fraction is fully for XA. So XA is equals to 1 whereas XB will be 0. In case of B, XA is equal to 0 and XB is equal to 1. Here we can see P0A which is the vapor pressure of component A in the pure state, and P0B which is the vapor pressure of component B at pure state. Here PB is a partial pressure of B and PA is a partial pressure of A, and P which is the total pressure is equal to the summation of PA and PB. Here is the vapor pressure graph of vapor pressure and mole fraction in case of ideal solution. It should be like that. Whereas in case of vapor pressure for non-ideal solution, we will see the deviation. And the deviation, one will be positive deviation and another will be negative deviation. In case of positive deviation, you can see the dotted lines, which should be supposed to have. But here we can see the deviation, it is greater than the original one. We can see PA is equals to PA plus PB, which is greater than this dotted line, whereas PA is also individually greater than the dotted line and PB is also greater than the dotted line. This is the positive deviation, and positive deviation shows like this in a graphical way. This is a graphical representation of the negative deviation. Here in this graph you can see the total pressure P is lower than the dotted line. Here the partial pressure of A is lower than the dotted line, and here the partial pressure of B is lower than the dotted line. All will be lower than the actual value. Now we have got two solutions, one solution showing positive deviation, another solution showing negative deviation. How does it occur? See, here for the positive deviation, AB attraction will be weaker than the AA attraction and BB attraction, whereas in case of negative deviation, AB attraction will be stronger than AA attraction and BB attraction. And we know that if after mixing if the attraction is lower, then we will get the vapor more. Amount of vapor will be more. So in case of positive deviation, partial pressure will be greater than the vapor pressure in the pure state, and here partial pressure will be lower than the vapor pressure in the pure state. In case of positive deviation, delta H mixing will be positive and delta V mixing also will be positive. In case of negative deviation, it will be negative, delta H and delta V will be negative.